We live in trying times, and the impact of what's happening around the world today will be felt for years and years to come. Aside from the obvious, like the largest peacetime death tolls in modern history, millions of people around the world are either furloughed from work or wondering how long their non-essential job will continue them to either stay home or work from home, or worse still, finding themselves out of work completely. And that's before we even factor in the brave people on the front line in essential businesses and the healthcare profession, wondering daily if they'll manage to get through another day of work without falling victim to this terrible virus. We've already seen the effects of COVID-19 permeate throughout the financial markets. They've already lost billions and billions of dollars in value, and companies large and small are being forced to make changes to ensure that they can hold on for as long as they can. We're lucky. Here at this channel, we've been able to make some tough choices of our own, as our own revenue has taken a massive dive. We've decided to get rid of our physical studio. Instead, we're all now working from home, and green screens will be making a comeback. And frankly, we're really lucky to be able to do that. But in the automotive world, we've already seen some companies change schedules for the launch of electric vehicles. The mid-cycle refresh to the Chevrolet Bolt EV is being pushed back a full year. Lucid and Rivian have already said that they are going to be delaying plans for their electric vehicle launches. And as a consequence, many people are wondering just which companies will survive and which ones won't. And we've had quite a few people reach out and ask us what lies in the future for Tesla. Will it essentially manage to survive the impending doom? Some analysts are saying no, but the answer, I think, is yes, although not without some major blows along the way. It's important, of course, to note that this won't be Tesla's first rodeo. In the years following the subprime mortgage-driven stock market crash of 2008, when Tesla was just 5 years old, the company was hit pretty hard. But thanks to a combination of sheer bloody-mindedness in the part of Elon Musk, not to mention some significant personal investment from him, sales of the original Tesla Roadster, and in 2010, US federal support in the form of the Advanced Vehicle Technology Manufacturing Loan Program, Tesla managed to keep itself from drowning. We should also mention the not insignificant investments from Toyota and Daimler in exchange for shareholding in Tesla, as well as Tesla's IPO in 2010. They were all life preservers that kept the company afloat and was ultimately able to bring the Model S to market. But before I go on, nearly every major automaker within the US received some form of government support during the dark times of the early 2010s. It was touch and go for the company for many years, but after finally reaching volume productions of Model S, Model X, and more recently Model 3, Tesla has had a much stronger financial position than it once held. And the lessons learned back in tougher times has certainly helped the company stay agile and responsive in a way that many auto industry companies just can't manage. You only have to look at Tesla's engineering team repurposing Model 3 components to make fully functional, customizable ventilators to see that in action. Today, Tesla's position is far different to its position in 2008. It's a far larger company. It's not racing to bring its first high production vehicle to market. It's got 4 cars and numerous energy products in the market. And instead of just one main production facility, it's got several. And those multiple factories are going to be essential in helping Tesla to weather this storm and make it far more resilient than it was the last time. While most US states and much of Europe remains very much in a lockdown, parts of China are starting to come out the other side. Sure, it is slow, and it's going to take a really long time for things to be back to normal. But Tesla's Chinese Gigafactory, Giga Shanghai, is already making Tesla Model 3 cars, while Tesla's Giga Fremont is currently banned from making anything other than ventilator parts and spares for Tesla's existing vehicle fleet. Of course, other automakers are also finding themselves in similar situations, with most automakers around the world prevented by local laws from making cars until this all ends. And there are other automakers with facilities in China that are able to make cars just like Tesla is. So Tesla is certainly not alone in having at least one production facility up and running right now. Let's not forget too that Tesla's production facilities are highly automated. They essentially require fewer humans to operate. So Tesla can operate its factory when other companies might not be able to. But where Tesla has the advantage right now is where it sits in the automotive market. In many countries around the world, electric vehicle sales are on the rise, while overall car sales are actually falling. Granted, some of that is being driven by legislation, and it's conceivable that changes in policies may happen to ease economic burdens on some communities. But for the most part, the majority of the world is driving hard to encourage its citizens to switch to electric vehicles, and that's beneficial for Tesla, recession or no. In other words, while traditional automakers are seeing car sales drop off a cliff, Tesla's enjoying a rising market share. And yes, other plug-in cars are also selling well that aren't made by Tesla, but they represent a tiny proportion of their respective automakers' overall output. And while other automakers are going to start increasing their electric vehicle offerings, they're also relying on internal combustion engine vehicle sales for the most part to fund these new models. If sales drop, then so too does the available money for EVs. Tesla doesn't have that problem. Okay, Nikki, I hear you say, we get it. Tesla's not got some of the challenges bringing electric vehicles to market that some of its rivals have because it already has the investment and the technology ready to go. But it's still going to suffer sales drops, right? Yeah, absolutely. I believe that once the Model Y pre-order list has been cleared, Tesla will end up with more cars in inventory than it's had in past. And we are already starting to see that if the end of those first quarter figures are to go by. But let's also not forget that those higher inventory figures are likely partly to do with people not being able to get their new cars as easily or as quickly as they might in a world where the coronavirus doesn't exist. It's a fact that with more people out of work, fewer people will be able to afford a brand new Tesla. And for that reason, we should expect Tesla sales to drop in the coming months a little. That said, because the average Tesla owner tends to be from a middle or upper middle class background and is less likely to have the kind of job that will be impacted by this current crisis, I'm guessing again, Tesla sales won't be as badly impacted as some other automaker sales will be. Yeah, I hate putting people in boxes, and yes, I know there are people who don't fit into the medium profile of a Tesla owner, and that there will be thousands of Tesla customers who are impacted by this. But when Tesla owners tend to have higher credit ratings than buyers of other cars, and even Model 3 owners are having median incomes of well above $100,000 well, you get my point. They're more likely to be financially able right now to weather this. So I'm predicting that Tesla as a luxury car brand will likely feel less impact than some other mainstream brands out there. But stop a minute, because there are some other things that Tesla has up its sleeve which might actually help the company continue to make a profit. Most cars leave the factory with a specific set of features and specifications. Thanks to its over-the-air software update and a la carte order process, Tesla can't sell you one drivetrain and then upgrade you mid-ownership. But it can let you buy a car with certain software features turned off, and then let you pay to upgrade them later. Yeah, I'm talking about the entry-level Model 3, the one that's currently off menu. But as Edmunds recently noted, it's still available for sale, although you do have to opt for white and jump through some ordering hoops. But where that car shines is the fact that after you've paid the $35,000 or so for it, you can then opt to unlock other features like autopilot and live data navigation when your financial situation is much more rosy. More premium models also have the same ability for you to turn on features after purchase without requiring you to shell out that extra money at the point of purchase. Granted, turning some features on after purchase is more expensive than speccing your car with them turned on from the get-go. But I wouldn't put it past Tesla to come up with a way to offer cash-strapped customers a more affordable way to do this if things get really bad. After all, it's better for Tesla to sell that car without the feature activated and then know it will likely get upgraded later than it is for Tesla to not sell a car at all. Unless I'm mistaken, no other automaker has that capability today in the way Tesla does. And because of this, Tesla could even benefit from existing customers by adding new features and then selling them should it choose to. There is sadly a bit of a fly in all of this, the price of oil. Right now, the price of oil has plummeted, and thus owning an electric car in some countries is a lot less appealing than it once was. While this may not impact things in the long term, I think it may give Tesla a short-term blip. But aside from the US, where, let's face it, things may change come next January if the current incumbent of the White House is elected out of office, the drive to electric cars around the world seems to show very little sign of slowing. COVID-19 has taught us a hard lesson about our complacency, but it's also reminded us how fragile our world and we humans are. Maybe this will be the kick in the teeth that we need to learn that the same thing about the planet we live on. And we can live in the hope that it will encourage more people to be better stewards of our planet. That in turn means driving more electric cars. And Tesla's right there, waiting, ready, when we are. Sure, Tesla will likely need to make more job cuts to get through this. And for some Tesla employees, things will be terrible. But I think Tesla will survive. It's already announced furloughs and pay cuts for some staff. And it's looking at getting back to production in the US in about a month's time. Things are going to get hard, but the company itself will likely come out the other side. That's it. Thanks for watching. And if you'd like to help us make more videos like this, please do like, comment and subscribe. Send us a couple of dollars our way every month through Patreon, or feed our coffee habit with Ko-fi. I'll be back soon with more content for you all to enjoy. But until then, stay safe, wash your hands and keep evolving.